You're watching my favorite YouTube channel. Let's chat about Ms. Marvel, her entering the year 2022. It'll be 8 years from her debut series in 2014. And what do we have in store for the character? Currently, there is a series called Ms. Marvel Beyond the Limit, which is in stores. It will wrap up around April, roughly. And this is a limited series, meaning that she doesn't have an ongoing series. She used to, and her sales for like 2 years hovered around the 30,000 sales mark. That's on comichron.com is where I'm getting my numbers. And then her sales gradually declined to where she doesn't have a series anymore, to where they reboot. Yeah, that first week did well, but the numbers went back down to where they were, and that's been canceled now. So we are just in this purgatory of she'll get a limited series here, and that's it. And I'm pretty sure she'll get a Disney Plus coinciding with a limited series when that thing happens, whenever exactly that date is. It got pushed back. She's at the precipice of her popularity with this Disney Plus series, but people still mispronounce her name at the same time. Here's Kevin Feige with his pronunciation of the word at D23.
Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, Muslim Pakistani teenager from Jersey City, is coming to the MCU.
You got the triple whammy. There's Camila. Yeah, guys, it's Camila, the Muslim. Let's talk about what we can do to help her out. She's got a villain problem. That can't be understated. She really doesn't have interesting villains. You got this Canadian ninjas. Like, does that even rank? If I look at her top three, it's the Thomas Edison guy. Yes, I know. It's the suit that kind of ran away. And then I would say Discord, her friend Josh, which may be the most interesting of the villains. Really nothing much. Loki doesn't really count. They are doing something new with Loki if you're reading Ms. Marvel Beyond the Limit. But there's plenty of room in her 75 issues for a new villain to show up. So let's get that going. Here's some more story ideas. Let's change her. Change her with something that cannot be undone to move her forward, because we've kind of been stale for this 16-year-old. 75 issues, I said, and she's got a secret identity. I think we got the most out of this aspect of it. Maybe she can reveal her identity to other people. Maybe she can reveal it to everyone also. Let's not retire that concept. Maybe that cop figured her out because he seems to be everywhere she is, and he's everywhere Kamala is. Just saying. Let's look at her in school. Does a superhero really need to be in school anymore? Just because Peter Parker did this doesn't mean that every single young superhero has to do this. Peter was a smart guy. He needed school because intelligence was part of his DNA. It's part of who he is. With Kamala, I don't think they've ever mentioned that she's a straight A student or anything like that. She's certainly not figuring things out by geometry. Let's do away with her reason to be in school. We know what her career path is going to be. We go to school so that we can go to post-secondary education and figure out what we want to do with our lives, whether it's a contract, a trade, or a medical field, whatever it is. She knows what she wants, and it's going to be a superhero. There's already a template for it. Unlike Spider-Man, she has 13 years of the Marvel Universe of examples of, look, there's really an occupation here. So let's cut the school thing out, please. And let's do things that will change her. How about you have her kill someone? She's never done that before. Let's make her kill a villain. Make her so mad she punches the villain crashes into something that ends into a fatal blow. So while she did mean to punch the villain that hard, unfortunately the guy died. And then does she turn herself in? Let's entertain that idea. Or just make her straight up do it on purpose. Imagine that. Or how about even, okay, she does what the example I gave you, but also she doesn't care and she doesn't regret it because she would have done the same thing again because it came to saving the life of person X and she wasn't going to risk that. So she hit you really hard. Maybe she's got to turn herself in. Maybe people hate her for that. Maybe that's when her identity gets revealed and when she turns herself in. But then again, she's a polymorph, so she can always change her face. Boom, creative ideas right to there. Turns herself in and a villain attacks Jersey and they got to break her out because she's the only one who can defeat this villain because she has the knowledge in her prior story, and then boom, she's out of jail. It's not that hard. I feel that when you tell stories in the same status quo, it gets to the point where she's not learning. You guys remember that comic right after Outlawed, where it kind of ended with her saying, I got to stick up for my friends. We were deep into Kamala Khan. We were in year 2020 when that came out. She learned that lesson. She'd been sticking up for her friends. She stood up for Zoe, of all people, her first mission as a superhero. So let's get serious about Kamala Khan. Serious in every aspect. Her role in these events need to be serious. If we're reading Devil's Reign and we're seeing Luke Cage, who's a minor character, but he's standing on par with Tony Stark, the way that he speaks with Tony Stark and the others, the way that they speak to him fits. Let's do what Chip Zdarsky is doing to Luke Cage right now. Maybe needs to be done with Kamala Khan. Let's have her featured. Devil's Reign is not the one because it's a New York specific event, but there's plenty of reasons why we can have her featured more than that group shot in King in Black where she's on the left. And it's nice to have her there. It would be nicer if she was part of Marvel and would feel like, man, maybe I do got to be reading her books, because right now you're signaling to the fans that she is in a certain place and there are ways to get her out of this place. All of my ideas are subjective, creative storytelling ideas. But this next thing I'm going to tell you is the most important to signal to these fans. And it's a serious writer. Get a guy who's writing the events for Marvel. There's about 5 people right now who are in Marvel who are the event writers. Get one of those top 5 people on Kamala Khan and see what happens to her sales. Tell the fans that they can care about this character and she is a mainstay, because right now we know where she is, as I keep repeating. This stories matter less than this. This is so crucial to her if you want the comic book reading audience to get back in on this character, because a lot of them once upon a time were. New fans, though, they're being created outside of Marvel. Let's just look at this. In 2022, after 8 years of this character, she has been featured in a video game with like 6 other Avengers, and she's the main one that you play as. That is box office. You cannot understate the significance of that. She's also in cartoons. Those are doing more for Kamala Khan than the comics are. And I got to give a salute to Marvel Animation for doing this. They're introducing her to kids before any preconceptions of what a superhero looks like set in. And I maintain that non-white characters are more important for our white friends to grow up seeing these people. Normalize her appearance, and that counteracts tons of future racist-ish that's going to be being thrown at these young people. Let's utilize her standouts. I'm back to offering suggestions. So here's a list of things that makes her stand out from other heroes. Parents, she's got 2 of them. Yep, if you guys didn't notice, there's the orphan superhero trope in even like Luke Skywalker. It's common where the hero doesn't have parents, okay? She does. She's got both of them. Let's use them. Let's make them part of the team. Let's have them mentor her. It's about time. I like I said, 75 issues deep. Let's reveal the identity. Let's do some stuff with her parents. Let's have a villain find out her parents, blackmail. Plenty of things we can do with her parents. Another thing, Islam. She has a deen. She worships a god. Maybe she starts getting dedicated to this religion. Maybe she starts basing her superhero decisions based off of it. How about she starts wearing a hijab? Who would have thunk it? I remember in this previous issues of Beyond the Limit, there was like all these multiple futures of Kamala Khan, none of them where she was covering her hair. I mean, is there something that I'm missing? I don't know what the reason is for that, but let's try introducing that to her. Maybe then people stop smiling at her and the reception around her it changes. Let's explore that story. Can't do that with everyone. How about her Pakistani heritage? And I'm not talking about for the artists to draw the dinner table with like the food from that culture. I'm not asking for that to stop either. I'm just saying I know it's the cliche. Whenever they want to put in culture, they do it that way. And the character will mention the name of the food on the table, and it's added. All right, guys, culture, yay. I would elaborate, but I don't know much about the culture. Let's utilize also her history, okay? Her love life is a story, a subplot that's been weaved. Sometimes it peeks out and it's the main focus of her comics, and sometimes it's just underneath there. What are we doing with Bruno? Let's further it, because they kissed, they're hot and they're cold, they're yes and they're no. She's in and she's out. It's up and down. It's wrong when it's right. It's black and it's white. Those are the words that I know. Katy Perry. But let's do something with that, okay? Let's talk about how she can borrow mass from time, which is actually happening here in Beyond the Limit, which is a series that is out right now in stores. Go check it out. Let's explore that, because that is very superhero comic booky, and this is the medium for that. So good on that. She's got a superpowered nephew, people. Yes, that's what the last thing that G. Willow Wilson wanted for us to know, is that that little nephew that's like 0 years old has powers. Let's explore that. How about Amir, the father of that nephew, right? I mean, this guy was born outside the USA. You know, Kingpin's about to be the president. Who's to say he doesn't deport him for whatever reasons? That would be an interesting story. You can't do that with everyone else. Utilize what she has that stands out. She's an Inhuman, currently the only Inhuman with a comic book. Let's utilize that. Lastly, her Disney Plus show, I believe, will come in the second half of the year, and I believe there will be a coinciding series. Let's make the trade paperback for her first issue available during the Disney Plus. So when comic book stores are looking at their final order cutoff date for June, for comic books they're going to be ordering in August. Let's make sure that the first trade paperback volume, which is already a hot seller, is available at a discounted price. It's not about making money at this point. You have paid G. Willow Wilson and you've played what's his name, Adriana Alfonso. Any sale of that trade paperback from now should come with the idea of creating new fans. Let's discount this. Comic books with 6 issues come out for what, $17.99? Pass on the savings to these local comic book shops, all 2,000 of them in North America, and let's make it so that this comic comes out for what, $8.99? Because on Comixology, that's how much these trades go for. $8.99 comic book. It's not so that you can make money. It's so that you can make a fan. Those fans will make the money up in the long run because you just created new fans. It's not coming at any price. You're not costing yourself anything. These books were written, 8 years ago now, in 2014. That's when that volume wrapped. Everything right now is gravy. Create new fans, discount the prices, make it so that people can come to the comic shop, read that. You know what's going to happen if they read it and they like it? They'll buy issue number 2, and that could be the regular price. Volume 2, I should say, and that will be the regular price. Create new fans. I'd rather have 1,000 new subscribers right now than $1,000. Why? Because I can monetize these guys in the long run. Hopefully these 1,000 people are going to stick with me. They like what they're hearing. And then throughout the years, God willing, I will generate more than $1,000 from every one of these 1,000 people. That's the idea. We're here to create new fans. And with this new Disney Plus series, we cannot, again, I'm saying the same words, but we cannot understate the value of this Disney Plus series. We really can't. And I hope that they actually do her powers right. And maybe that's what they're delaying it for, because anyways, pass the savings to the stores. That is the biggest thing I can say coming at it from a business perspective. But hey, it's not my business. I'm the customer. And you know what I say to other customers? All of you guys, read Kamala Khan. Ms. Marvel will be on the limit. It's in stores now.